If you're communicating with a woman and there is any friction at all, you're out. If she gives you any friction, you're done. You're completely done. I'm not trying to say this in like a negative tone of voice. I'm also not going to come at this video from the typical red pill manosphere method of show that you're the most alpha, because that's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm trying to explain this to you as logically as possible and as calm and rational as possible so you can understand this and do this with a smile on your face without being pissed off or offended. Women are hypergamous, which means they only want one guy. The more beautiful she is, the higher status guy she can attract. You understand what I'm saying? She wants one guy, right? The hotter the woman gets, the more she has access to top-tier men. But each woman that you talk to is going to also be hypergamous, which means that out of all the guys in her inbox, she only wants one. This is why I can tell you, if she's giving you any friction at all, you just quit communicating completely. You're done. You see a lot of guys try to use these red pill manosphere terms, set the frame. Tell her what you expect out of her, that type of behavior is not going to be good, or you're going to walk away. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. You're making a fool out of yourself by demonstrating or saying anything at all. You're making a complete fool out of yourself because she doesn't care. If she did care, she would have texted you back or called you back in the first place. But this is what you have, is a generation of men who give their attention away, and they keep giving their attention away, assuming that if they try harder, she will end up liking him. This is not how it works. This is not how it works. I'm going to come at this video from a lot of different angles, but the first angle I want to touch on, or that I want to talk about, is the word simp or simping, because this is a word that's constantly all over the internet. The only reason why there's a generation of men simping is because they do not understand this one fundamental concept that I'm explaining to you right now, which is if there is any friction, you're done. What happens when it comes to this word simping is men keep giving their attention away because they hope or they think that if they work harder, or if they just say the right string of sentences with the right communication over text message or whatever, now she'll finally call or text back, or now all of a sudden she'll have desire. That is not how it works. Listen, the guy she has really high interest in, like sky high interest, the guy she actually loves or she admires or she wants to be with, that guy could send a bad text message, quote unquote, when it comes to game. He could send a text message that's not that good. Maybe even over-validating or over-complimenting or even giving a ton of value away. And she doesn't care, and it doesn't turn her off because she actually likes him. This is the whole problem with men today, is you are attempting, or majority of men are attempting to talk to women or communicate with women that fundamentally don't like you or that have no interest in you. And you cannot do this. You can't do this. You have to only communicate with people who like you. If you have a best friend named John and you ask him to go grab a beer Saturday night and he texts back, off, you're probably not going to try harder to convince him with 3, 4, 5 more text messages why you're a good fit to go grab a drink with. You'll probably just be like, okay, this is super weird. I'm definitely not going to talk to him anymore because he doesn't like me. And this is what you have to understand as a man, is it doesn't matter how much you like her. It doesn't matter how beautiful you think she is. If she's giving you any friction at all, let me give you an example. You say, I'm going downtown Friday night, meet up with me for a drink. And let's say she's free, but she says, maybe, or we'll see, or I'll let you know. What most guys try to do is they try to follow up with that because they're always in scarcity. You always think that you're never going to have another option, or you always think that, or I get it, like you're lonely. You're probably lonely. I get it. Most men are lonely. The older you get, you go home every night, you sit down, you get into bed, you look in the mirror to brush your teeth, and you realize you're still all alone another night, all by yourself. You have no family and you have no children, and you're sitting there all by yourself, and another year goes by and you're in the exact same boat. I got it. I get it. You really want someone. But you have to only talk to and communicate with women who like you. So any friction that you get, you just quit. She'll never hear from you ever again. Younger men, what they try to do is they try to keep pushing forward with more text messages, more phone calls, and more communication. And it fundamentally doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you get any friction, you're done communicating. This is why, like, the traditional, manosphere type advice, it's just way too, brash. It's way too hard. It doesn't work. It actually doesn't work. And this is why I created what I call the process of the language of women. This is why I've been helping guys learn, understand, and master the language of women, because it needed to be improved on. And I'm seeing just how much this impacts guys' lives on a deeper level. Now, what I can also tell you is this: if a woman is giving you friction, the only thing that you can do is level up your own attractiveness until a woman doesn't want to give you friction with communication. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Literally, that is all you can do, is level up your own attraction or your own attractiveness until a woman doesn't want to give you any friction. When a woman doesn't give you friction, here's what it looks like. She answers your phone calls, or she typically will call you back within 30 minutes, not the next day or anything like that. Like, she'll just call you back normal, as if she was texting or calling her mom. And let's say she just got done with a hair appointment or a nail appointment, and her mom called, then she would just call her mom back. She gives you the same treatment. She treats you like a family member or a friend, which means she would calmly return normal communication. If you're not getting this from women, where they're acting normal towards you, like a normal person would, then they don't like you. They don't like you. There's nothing I can do in these videos to make them like you. There's nothing I can say in these videos to get them to like you. You are going to have to level up your own attractiveness. You might be saying, well, what should I do? First, do everything and do all of it. Yes, get leaner body fat. Get leaner. Yes, add more muscle. Yes, upgrade your style. Yes, upgrade your charisma. Yes, upgrade your charm. Yes, improve in your career. Yes, push forward and build that business. Yes, make more money. Yes, get a faster car. Try it. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Probably won't, but at least it's a 1% win that stacks up. Try a different haircut. Now try this haircut. Now try that haircut. Now shave it bald. I don't give a shit what you do. Just do something. Because when you have a generation of men that are focused on the women in that relationship instead of obtaining his future status and his future success, my friend, you are focused on the wrong thing. The higher up value you create, the more attractive women you naturally attract. When you become known, when you become somebody, when you become a man who has put in the work and you have achieved, your status and your success essentially is the only thing that can compete with her beauty. Now, you might be saying, well, Casey, in other videos, you're saying that doesn't matter. Correct. It doesn't matter if you don't have masculine frame and if you don't have the right character that also signals internal high value. There's a lot of rich guys, successful guys, even high status guys, where if they get on that date and she can instantly tell by your vocal tone, your sub-communication, your mannerisms that you don't feel worthy, well then yes, she will go just sleep with the player or the bad boy or the loser or the dude with no future, because at least he carries himself like he is enough. But in order to get your foot in the door, to even be qualified for that date in the first place, you are going to have to up-level your own attractiveness. You're going to have to chase your own success and your own status, and you're going to have to turn your energy to be inwardly focused. You see a lot of guys, they'll go and wander off and talk to their neighbor down the street, and they'll blow 30, 40 minutes here. Then they'll go down the street and talk to this neighbor and blow another 20 minutes here. Then, they're got nothing going on, so they want to go smoke something or drink something, so they call up and FaceTime a friend and blow another hour there. And then they sit around and talk about how bad their life is. And it's like, listen, you have to cut all of the distraction. I have not watched TV in 10 years. I have not watched sports in 10 years. Why? Because I focused on my own success. So I tested everything along the way. I tested everything. I said, how do women behave when you have six-pack abs? Like, I've put in the work and I've tried everything. I said, how do women behave when you have a Ferrari? How do women behave when you're an entrepreneur? How do women behave and how do women treat you at each level and at each stage? And I figured out what works. And I figured out what women look for short term. And then I figured out what women look for long term. And every year I get better at teaching this because I've done the things necessary in my own life to figure out what women actually respond to. And this is the one thing that I can tell you. Any friction and you're done. In fact, I'll tell you this. Maybe if you were not her number one option, and now you live by this method where any friction and you're done completely, you just quit communicating, where she goes, that guy never texted me back ever once I said this. That guy never chased my validation or pursued me or gave me another phone call or another FaceTime call ever again after I text this or I didn't reply to this. He never pursued me. You might actually become her number one option and you might actually satisfy hypergamy more, all because you were the one guy who didn't chase. Every sentence that comes out of your mouth, every phone call, you are demonstrating that you are her number one option, or at least you are giving yourself the best chances or the best possibility of doing this. Okay, and if you give yourself the best chances or the best possibility of doing this, what tends to happen is her emotions work in your favor. But I will tell you this, if you're the guy constantly following up, if you're the guy constantly double texting, if you're the guy constantly getting left on red, you have to understand that there's just something about you that is fundamentally flawed in the attraction where she's just not giving you the time of day. I see this a lot of times with guys who, they'll tell me they want hot women. They'll be like, yeah, I'm doing good getting, sixes or sevens in my opinion. Like maybe it's a 6 or 7 to them, but they're saying like, I struggle with the 9s and 10s. It's like, yeah, welcome to the club. Have you ever thought that maybe the 9s and 10s also want 9s and 10s? Have you ever thought about the 9s and 10s want the men who are the 9s and the 10s? And this is what I mean is guys constantly think you can outgame attraction. You can't. This is what guys think is if you would have just said the perfect string of sentences and if you would have done this and said this and displayed this here, now all of a sudden she'd like you. You can't change this. Whatever hand you're dealt right now, and those are the women that you have access to that are responding to you, then those are the women who want you and they're showing you desire without friction. That's what league you're in. You cannot outgame attraction. So I'll tell you this, any friction, if a woman gives you any friction at all, we'll see, maybe, I don't know, I have some girlfriends in town, I'll let you know. What's another one guys go through? Flaking. Hey, with 5 Ys, hey, so sorry, but something came up and now I can't make the date. Hey, who's ever been there before? Hey, with 4 Ys, hi, with six Is. I broke all this down for myself and I started to put 2 and 2 together and I would see where this goes. And also I would see how the hot women behave, okay? But then I would see how when I raised my status and my value over the years, I also saw that the hot women behaved exactly how other women did because now it depends on how they're viewing you. Any friction and you're out. So listen, anytime you're getting hit with this stuff, flaking, she has low interest, she's not calling you back, that option's gone and it never was an option. You were just texting someone. That's it. You never had an option. Any friction and you have to move on. I hope that this makes sense. The only way that you stop the quote unquote simping, the only way you stop that is if men understand that you cannot give attention. Let's just say the word communication. How about that? The only way the simping quits is if men stop giving communication and sentences and words and attempts and effort towards a date. They stop doing that to women who are not reciprocating interest and communication back. That's the only way. Because if you are getting any friction, she doesn't like you. And it's not like she doesn't even like you as a person. She just has other attractive options, or she has higher perceived attraction for the other men that she's communicating with or talking to. If you live by this, your life will get a lot better. Take this even a step further. Join the community I built where I help men learn, understand, and master the language of women. I have a full process on this. I believe I teach this better than anybody. This is my life's work. I intend on doing this for a lot of years, and I intend on making some of the best material I have ever made over the next year. And that's that. And then the next year I'll probably make even better material, and the next year after that, and then one day I'll be 40 and I'll make even better material, and then one day I'll be 50 and I'll make even better material, and I'm just going to do what I do best, which is help all of you. And every year that I get good, I'm helping you guys along the way. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.